What's up, everyone? Welcome to Opposites Attract podcast. This is Sonja Ramirez, and I'm sitting next to my amazing husband,
Miguel Ramirez. What's going on, babe?
What's up? Exciting times. Feeling a bit nervous.
I know. Episode 1.
For sure.
This is the one we'll be looking back on.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. Just had to take a shot of vodka.
I chugged a beer right before.
Yes.
So yeah,
that's how we overcome our fears here at the Ramirez family.
Yeah, we're definitely not professionals.
No, definitely not.
Not to podcasting anyway.
Yeah.
So,
but it's good stuff, right? Stepping out of our comfort zone and doing something different to help others.
So since we're not professionals, I think that something that could help us out, because you like to say, right? And
yes.
people will hear that.
Yes. And you'll hear
and we'll
him.
work on that. And I'll be like, anyway, move on.
Those are our words.
Yeah. So maybe we can get a bottle or something, and every time I catch you saying, you take a shot, and if I say anyway, I'll take a shot.
Are you kidding me? Then we'd
It'll be a
slurring.
disaster by the end of 45 minutes. But anyway,
people start making bets on us.
I got a shot now.
Next. So, what's pretty, I don't know, just, it was your idea to come up with the podcast.
Yeah.
And so let's share how that came about.
So, yeah, I listen to podcasts most of the time. Throughout the day, I'm listening to podcasts when I'm in the car or I'm working. And you're getting into the public speaking, and people are always coming to you for advice. And at work sometimes, we're talking about parenting or relationships or whatever. And I don't know, I thought it would be a good idea, to start a podcast and people can listen. And not like we're experts or anything, but I think together they can ask questions. We can give our opinion, our experiences on things. And, people can respond in our Facebook group or wherever, and we can have an interaction. And maybe we can all get better.
Yeah, totally. So when you brought it to my attention, I thought it was pretty exciting, something different, something new, and I was all for it. And then, I don't know, I just started thinking there's nothing to hide behind. It's like we're opening up our doors for the world.
Yeah.
And so it became a bit scary because I want to be true.
You want your truth to come out?
Yes. I want my audience to connect and feel the energy.
Yeah. No, I know. Yeah. So, no, it's true. I mean, it's a vulnerable place. Like I guess if you want to make a good podcast, you just got to be as authentic as possible.
Yes.
Which sometimes can let people into some private things, private details, I guess, right?
Right. So are you ready for that?
I guess we'll go for it.
All right. So I said a little prayer before I got in front of this mic.
Yeah.
I prayed for him as well.
After the shot. You prayed after the shot.
Yeah. I asked God to forgive me for my sins as well.
Yeah.
So why did we name it Opposites Attract? Because, you came up with the name. I thought it was perfect. But obviously you put some thought into this.
Actually, the name just kind of came to me. I was, we have been talking about how we are opposites. And I think for some couples, I guess it's like that. But we had been talking about how there's a lot of things that we're just opposites in.
Let me ask, did you notice that at the beginning? Because I've been thinking about that. And me neither. Like it seemed like we just, we do well together. But I never just took time.
Actually, it's been more recently that I've noticed that we're more opposites. Like the whole spirituality, religion thing that you have going on. I don't know how else to say it.
Okay.
But, no, not that it's a bad thing or whatever, but, and I really don't have any of that.
Yeah.
That's like we're complete opposites when it comes to that.
Because I pray for you every day.
No.
Okay.
Keep praying.
Okay. Whatever.
So,
anyways.
You're extroverted.
I love people. Yeah. Social butterfly.
I'm more introverted, even though, I don't mind doing stuff like this. But when it comes to meeting a whole bunch of new people, I'd rather just kind of chill or leave after a little while.
You do well when we go out dancing together. So that's why I never thought you were an introvert, because whenever I wanted to go out, whenever I wanted to dance, like you would get on the dance floor, we would dance, we'd have an amazing time.
Yeah, but it's not like when we're going out, it's not like I'm talking to everybody. It's just me and you hanging out. Whether we're at a bar or at a club or whatever, it's just me and you hanging out. I'm not talking to everybody that's there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's really, even though it's kind of like public, it's still just us.
That's true.
You know, and you're happy. You're very happy.
Yes.
I'm angry all the time.
I'm very optimistic. I see the rainbow in every situation.
And I see the skid marks.
And he wants to choke me out most of the time.
I'm like, babe, that's a crackhead. Leave him alone. Leave him alone. You can't save everybody.
Oh, yeah.
So anyway, yeah, just, little things. You'd rather be hot. I'd rather be cold. You like soft pillows. I like firm pillows. Just.
I go with the flow.
And yeah.
He's like totally organized. Without him, this podcast would not exist, because I wouldn't be able to do what you did. I mean, you were up, the Facebook, the Twitter, like just all of that.
I was up all night last night.
Yes.
And then I got up like at 6 something this morning. I was up till like 3.
Yeah. And it's nonstop, like talking about it. And I'm just like, let's have fun. Like, let's do it. I'm
slap it together and let's go. Yeah.
And he's like,
we need to figure this thing out.
No, there's a list on everything that we need to do.
Yeah,
and there's a time and there's a schedule and consistency and self-discipline.
We got to do it. You got to do it right.
So I think that's what makes it fit, though.
But even though like a lot of things we're opposites on, what makes us work is that the most important things we're the same on. Like parenting, finances, like the real important stuff.
Yes.
We're in 100%.
Right. Yeah, and that's something that we were talking about, because there has to be like an underlining
foundation.
Yes.
Yeah.
And for us, I think parenting.
Oh,
get cute.
But yeah. But you know what? Like, these are just some of the opposites. I'm sure there's a bunch more that we can't think of right now that'll come up eventually. Where,
totally.
People will hear what's
Yes.
going on. So what kind of stuff will we be talking about on this podcast?
Wow. Everything.
Everything.
I mean, I want to make it real. I get tons of questions like regarding our relationship and how most of us see us as, well, we have one person who's maybe listening to this who refers to us as the Mexican fairy tale.
The one person that's listening to this, right? Because right now we have 0. So hopefully we get a handful.
I just rebuke what you just said, okay?
Hey, we're just getting started.
We're going to have.
Yeah, we will.
Yes, we will.
But yeah, no, you're right.
Relationship, just our marriage, things that we've gone through, things that we've grown through. I think that there just in itself is going to make a difference, hopefully, in other marriages or other relationships. Because I do feel that what we do have is the communication. Like, we have that down.
So we'll probably talk about some of the adversities that we've had in our relationship.
Yes.
How to make it last, because we're going on 11 years in a few months.
And I don't see that. I mean, when you say it, we've been together for over a decade, like that sounds like a long time, but it doesn't feel.
It's gone by fast.
Like it's been a long time.
It's gone by fast, but when you sit back and think about all the stuff that we've done, the things that we've been through, like,
yes.
Damn, it's been a long time.
And that's when I realized, like when Facebook brings up pictures from the past.
And that's part of it. Like Facebook, when people see Facebook, like they see the best of everything.
Right.
They don't see all the other stuff. And this is hard to, like, it's hard not to be real when you're just talking. When somebody's bringing something to you and you're like, hey, you know what? I dealt with something like that. It's kind of hard. Like, that's the stuff that you don't get to see.
Right. Because most people are not talking about that.
No, you don't post that.
So, we'll be talking about relationships, adversity, and
what makes it
the
work?
most important thing.
Getting down and dirty.
Doing
Whatever. We'll get into it.
Dirty.
So, we'll talk about parenting also. Not beating your kids at Walmart. Stuff like that.
Yes. And that's something,
yeah.
I mean, we are totally just, I mean, these kids don't come with a manual. Like we talk about their education, their challenges, our challenges. We questioned everything that we do, whether we're doing right, we're doing wrong, so.
Yeah. And most of the time, at the end of the day, we're looking at it like, fuck, what are we doing? Like, are we doing this right? Are we getting it right? Like, nobody knows. People act like they know.
Right.
But shit, maybe we can all figure it out together. I mean, because that's what it's all about.
Yes.
And I have a daughter with my ex, an older daughter, and then we have 2 kids together. And our 2 kids are just like us. I mean, we have a girl, a 9-year-old girl. We have a 7-year-old boy, and they are just like us.
Right. My daughter's my little mini-me.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful to see, and it's so hilarious.
Yeah.
She's already, like very spiritual. She's connected. Oh my God. And I can share some stories that will blow your mind.
Yeah, I'll walk into her room and she's got her eyes closed. She's hearing voices. I'm like, what the hell's going on?
Shut up.
And then you open Joey's room and he's flipping out, breaking shit.
Because he can't get his Legos.
So that, I mean, they're just, it's crazy how that works out. But yeah they're just like us. We'll talk about school.
I don't know if this is not on, that's something that we discussed, but we did, when my sister passed away, we did have the experience of helping to raise 3 teenagers as well.
Yeah.
And that was a huge challenge in our
unexpected.
life. And it was very fulfilling as well.
We learned some things. So, yeah, we can get into that. Bullying, our perspective on bullying, what we do about it, how we see it. Disciplining kids, that's tough.
Ugh.
I mean, disciplining kids, like knowing what the right way to do it, being disciplined about disciplining. I think that's something we struggle with.
Yes.
So yeah, we can get into all that kind of stuff.
So know that we're also looking to hear from you as well.
Yeah, definitely. And aside from that, you have a business, or we have a business that businesses, and we have a podcast now. Yes. So you take care of the businesses for the most part. Like I help with maybe website stuff or little things here and there, but that's pretty much what you do.
You do our QuickBooks.
I do. I do the taxes.
I would not.
And you drive me crazy. So anyway, and we're gonna
get into that.
We're gonna end up in prison if this podcast goes off the air one day. It might be because we're in prison because I do the taxes.
Shut up.
So anyway,
we have a CPA. What do you mean? Who's a bomb? So
no, he's good.
Yeah.
But anyway, we also do. We'll talk about finances, like personal finances. I mean, we've done okay. We're not where we want to be, but I think we're better. We've done better than other people. Maybe not as good as some others, but I don't know. We'll just give our perspective and some things that we've done, and we'll hear from you guys too. So personal development is something that we're huge on.
Yes, even with the kids. I mean, that's something that, that we stick to by the kids.
Yeah, we got good books for the kids to read. And even the personal development is different between you and me.
Yes.
Like we both listen to and practice personal development, but it's different. Like you listen to Oprah and read the Bible. Yes. I mean, the Bible's the crazy thing that you always hear is that when you listen to these personal development books, even if you don't believe in the Bible and all that, like
Proverbs,
but
like Proverbs,
whatever. Mm-hmm. But all these books that they write that make a lot of sense, it's like, oh yeah, that came from the Bible. It's like, wow, really? Yeah.
Yeah, it's super amazing.
So, and I listen to a lot of Joe Rogan, Jocko Willink, more. And
Jocko's good.
Jocko's really good.
I've listened to him.
Yeah, and we were actually fortunate enough to go meet him a couple of weeks ago. That was really cool.
Yeah, that was cool.
So we got some books signed for the kids for that. That was nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll get into the personal development and the different ways that we do it.
Health, fitness. I mean, that's, something that
we struggle with.
Wait, we're also upset because even though I haven't been making it, like I haven't renewed my gym membership actually, but that's something that I truly enjoy doing. It's just,
that's
again,
another opposite. Yeah.
making it the time, making time to get in there. But that's something that
you enjoy going to the gym.
I love it.
That is your stress reliever.
Yes.
And I go to the gym.
But you hate it.
5 days a week, 6 days a week.
Yes.
So I go to jiu-jitsu. I like jiu-jitsu, but I don't like the gym. Yeah. I go just because I know I should go. You know. So those are another difference.
We'll get into health and fitness, and we both, well, I don't know. I mean, I'm doing the keto, and I really want to get more serious about that because it just worked for me. I've always been a yo-yo going up and down with my weight, and keto's it's worked for me.
Yeah. And it worked for me too. So we can get into that and other things that are out there or whatever. Religion, different views. That show that we were watching was really good. That one with Morgan Freeman.
Yes.
It's all about all different kinds, like Buddhism, Hinduism, like Islam, like all this stuff. Like, it's interesting.
Yes.
And, who knows? Maybe we'll get into some of that because it's open. It's open for everything. Politics, other podcasts.
Right. Yeah. I don't know so much about politics.
No, but things happen. Things happen in the world, and maybe we have an opinion about it.
Opinion.
The
one thing
but this is how you learn. This is how you get better.
No, yeah.
You think you know something until somebody's like, "Hey, you might want to take a look at this."
Right.
And you're like, wow, that kind of makes sense. Because neither one of us are people that like, oh my God, like this is my team.
Right.
Like I'm dead set Republican or Democrat or no. Don't put me in any group with anybody. Because I have my own mind. Right. And if that makes sense, then cool. But, so.
I think the one thing we do, well, not the one thing, because we do agree on a lot of things, but watching the news, that's just not something I care to do because it's just so negative. But you do have to keep up with what's going on, and you bring that to me because other than that, I have no idea. Like I tell my mom, if the world ends, like if aliens come in and take over the planet, I don't want to know. Just take me.
Yeah. And the news that I usually get, I get it through podcasts, when they're talking about the news. That, and there's a news episode that's like a podcast that's like 20 minutes. That I'll listen to. And that's probably one of the last things. Like if I don't have anything else to listen to, I'll listen to that for 20 minutes. And it kind of just gets me caught up on stuff that's happening around the world and the country.
Maybe that's something I should do because I should be more aware of what's going on.
Yeah, maybe every once in a while. Well, maybe this will help, get us more in tune with what's happening in the country. But one thing that I've noticed is like a lot of the news and all the division that you see that is like online or in the news, like in real life, you don't really see it. You know what I mean? Like, have you seen like all the sexism stuff, the racism stuff, like in real life, in your life? Do you see this like on a daily basis? Like, I don't really notice it.
No, but some people do.
I'm not saying that it doesn't exist because obviously it exists, but I just maybe I just don't see it.
Yeah.
Or maybe I'm focused on something else. I don't know.
No, I see what you're saying, but I know just because I talk to so many people, through just out there, and I hear a lot from the people that I sit with for business, just what they're going through, their families are going through.
Yeah.
And so it's out there. It's just we're not around it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Or maybe it's not our focus. Who knows?
Okay. So anyway. So we'll talk about, other podcasts that we listen to because there are other podcasts. Like I bring other podcasts to you when there's something good. I'll let you listen to it, which is pretty much aside from Oprah. That's the only way that you listen to podcasts is if I bring one to you. So you didn't even know too much about podcasts
I
until
knew
you got your own
nothing.
podcast.
No, honestly, like when I listened to Oprah, I just came across it on YouTube,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh my god, like this is
And I think I
totally
probably looked it up.
awesome.
I was like, there's probably a podcast for this.
I sent you just a little clip on what I wanted
Yeah.
to share with you, and I think you brought it to my attention, but I had no idea that it was a podcast.
Yeah.
So then I started looking into it, and I think you sent me the link to Podcast Addict.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
that's the app that we use.
And I still haven't really looked much into it. But now that we have our own podcast, I feel like I have to.
Which will be on Podcast Addict. It'll be everywhere. Wherever you can get podcasts, the podcast will be there.
Yes.
I'll figure it out one way or another.
I love that. See, he'll figure it out. I'm just here for the ride and have fun.
Yep. So yeah, I mean that's what we'll be talking about. And I don't know what's the future of the podcast. I mean, we're on episode 1.
This is the introduction.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
We're just getting started. But what do we hope this turns into? What's the future for this podcast?
You know,
or this community? Because I feel like, you know, with the people that follow you, you know, they want to hear from you. They want to hear your opinions on stuff or your advice. And it's not just one way. It'll be, and not just between us, but between them, you know, if on our Facebook group or, you know, what other social media we have.
So I just feel my purpose in life is to help connect the disconnect. Remember I talked to you about that and you're like, what in the world does that mean?
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many people today that are so busy. They're so busy that, and they're unhappy. You know, our suicide rate is like out of control. And there's so many people that feel alone, even though they're in a relationship, they're in a marriage, or they have children. So I'm hoping that this podcast will help them to connect with themselves, but not only connect with themselves, but the people around them that really truly matter. And hopefully that we can
help them find their truth,
joy, peace, and love. And if you keep looking at me like that, I'm going to go over there and choke you out. And it's going to be the Sonja podcast.
Yeah. No, it's a good thing. I mean, I think eventually, hopefully this turns into, like I said, a community of people that just kind of interact and figure out how to get better. You know, just kind of helping each other out through different situations or whatever.
Yes. So it's just going to be honest conversation. And,
yeah.
And I think that's what it's just 100 with me. It's just being open, being honest, and being there to share us and what's helped us, so that hopefully we can help others.
Yeah. Yep, exactly.
And he thinks he's kind of funny. So hopefully I think I'm funny.
You crack yourself up.
Anyways, I do. But hopefully, you know, you'll get some entertainment from this as well. You know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, and we're pretty fortunate that because of our businesses, you know, most podcasts have to go out and look for sponsors, but we can sponsor ourselves.
I don't know.
Even though we don't pay for,
right.
Like, I mean, we're paying for everything. So we can pay ourselves for sponsoring ourselves.
Right.
I don't know how that works.
I don't know. You got to call our CPA.
Yeah. But yeah. So this podcast is sponsored by Trust Inc. USA. And you can find quality legal services at affordable prices. You can go to trustincusa.com. Also, if you're in the real estate business and you're looking for signing agents nationwide, we have that for you too. So you can go to trustincusa.com and you can find help there. Also, we have everything on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We're at Opposite Pod. It's the same everywhere. And if you go to oppositesattractpod.com, for now, that will forward you to our Facebook group and or our Facebook page. And then there's also our group there. So if you want to be part of the group and you want to interact, that's probably the best way to send us questions or, you know, tips, or if you just want to leave a comment like, hey, great podcast, whatever, or this sucks, you can leave it there and we'll delete it. But no,
Truth.
but yeah,
Truth.
yeah. But no, you can go to the Facebook page is probably what we will check the most. And also, if you want to just send us an email, oppositepod@gmail.com. It's oppositepod@gmail.com, and you can send us that email. And you can subscribe on iTunes, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, wherever you find podcasts. You'll be able to. My wife, her eyes are glazing over. She has no idea what I'm talking about right now.
No idea.
But pretty much anywhere that you can get podcasts, you'll be able to get this podcast. I'll figure it out one way or another. It'll be up. So,
yay!
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you so much for your time and tuning in and supporting us. We hope that this brings value to you and those that you know.
There we go. All right. Well, until next time, we'll see you guys, or we'll talk to you guys in episode 2. Bye.
Bye.